In the video, Every Quit is Different, I talk about how you cannot predict what you're going to have in this particular quit by comparing notes with other people, because other people may have totally different quits than you do. And in fact, you can't even compare what your quit's going to be like this time because of what happened the last time you quit. Because again, as that video discusses, quitting, the effects that you may have during the process varies from time to time. There are people who will have a hard time when they quit smoking, and they'll sometimes encounter people who had an easy time and think like they're almost envious of them, like, oh, I had a really tough time. You're lucky that it was easy for you. I want to point out that the people who have the hardest time quitting have an advantage in a way, a pretty big advantage at times. And what that is the knowledge of how hard that quit was sometimes becomes a real good piece of ammunition of why you never want to go back to smoking, because you recognize you'll have to go through quitting again. Now, there's no guarantee it'll be as hard the next time, but there's also a chance that it could have been worse the next time. That's why a person has a really hard time quitting. Having that on their side may be a real benefit to helping prevent going back to smoking. Another advantage is someone who quits and has a real easy time sometimes doesn't recognize the level of grip that cigarettes have on them. I already have a video that also discusses that aspect, that if people have a real easy time quitting smoking, they start to think, well, maybe they weren't addicted. Well, the video, Were You Addicted or Was I Addicted? I can't remember what I named it, but that video talks about the really strong indication of addiction to nicotine. It's not by how hard it is to stop. It's not by how easy it is to stop. It's how easy it is to go back. How a person can be off for a very long time. And when I say a long time, we're talking years. We're talking decades. Who one day, for one reason or another, decides that they're going to try a puff on a cigarette, and all of a sudden, they're back to their old level of consumption, usually within a really short time period. That's what shows the addiction to nicotine, how easy it is to go back to smoking. If you had a hard time quitting, remember that hard time. Remember what you went through to get off cigarettes, and realize you never want to deal with that again. If you had an easy time quitting smoking, understand the next time it may not be easy. The next time it might not be possible. The next time, if you were to relapse and go back and now there has to be a next time, it might be too late. Something may go wrong between attempt 1 and attempt 2. You may develop a process that's irreversible. When you have a quit going, you do everything in your power to keep that quit going. You want that to be the last quit you'll ever have to do. And the way to ensure that the quit you have now is going to be the last one, whether it was easy or hard, the way to guarantee that it's the last one you'll ever have to do is this time to stick to a personal commitment to never take another puff.